Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to lesson 11. So, we have now reached the point where we're ready to start looking at verbs. These are the action words that describe when people do things. A lot of it's going to be memorization of the various patterns of how to conjugate them, which can be a bit dry, but there's no way around it. Let's get to it. So when it comes to verbs in Arabic, the first thing to know is that the root form is in past tense, and that's why we're starting by looking at the past tense. In particular, the past tense corresponding to he is usually the basic root form of the verb. Today we're going to look at the verb ja'ala, which roughly means he made. Okay. The second thing to know is that in English, in order to tell who's doing the verb, we have to put a pronoun in the front. He made, she made, they made, you made. There's not a lot of change in the verb itself, but we look at the pronoun in front to tell us who's doing it. In Arabic, we can put the pronoun in front, but the verb is actually conjugated corresponding to the pronoun by looking at the ending or the suffix of the verb. And sometimes it's enough just to put the verb with the suffix, and you don't have to put the pronoun because the suffix tells you who's doing it. So very quickly, let's look at it. Huwa, he, has no suffix at all. It's just the root word. Hiya, or she, has would be ja'alat with the ta sakin. Hum means they, it would conjugate ja'alu with a waw sakin and alif at the end. Anta and anti, both forms of you, would get ja'alta and ja'alti. Notice how the tas correspond with the ending of the anta and the anti. Similarly, the plural you, antum, has ja'altum, tum at the end. Ana has ja'altu, and nahnu has ja'alna. So once you get familiar with recognizing how the suffixes are, you'll be able to tell who's doing the verb just by looking at the way the verb ends. This is also a way you can actually recognize that a word is a verb, because if it ends with one of these suffixes, you can assume that it's probably going to be a verb. Now that you know how the verbs are conjugated, we're going to go over some of the most common verbs of the Qur'an so you can start recognizing them as you read them. So here are 5 of the most common verbs of the Qur'an. You'll notice that I've included both the past tense and the present tense here. We'll talk more about the present tense starting in the next lesson, but for now let's focus on the past tense. Amana means he believed or he had faith. Present tense, yu'minu. Ja'ala has present tense, yaj'alu, and it means he made or he designated. Khalaqa has present tense, yakhluqu, it means he created. Anzala has present tense yunzilu, it means he revealed or he sent down. Kafara has present tense yakfuru and means he disbelieved. Well, that's it for today. I strongly encourage you to practice these conjugations when you're looking through the words of the Qur'an. See whenever you can find a verb and try to recognize what the suffix is, see what the pronoun is, who's doing it. That's the way that you'll get really familiar with this and be able to improve on your translation abilities. Until next time, take care.